What's up, Pirates? Ray Talks here with Awaken TCG, and today we're going to be showing off my round 2 gameplay, and I'm going to be doing commentary over it. I feel like I'm going to just eventually go through every single one of my games on my winning run where I won the Core TCG Online Regional. And so this was against a green-purple DOFFY, which is going to be a mirror match. And so we're going to go here, pass on my turn 1, and then now it is my opponent's turn 1. He's going to go ahead and pass as well. He doesn't play anything. So now we are at 2 Dawn. And of course, I want to, tell you guys again, go first on the mirror. Being able to, drop bodies earlier than your opponent gives you earlier pressure. And since this deck is so defensive, you can protect them, with relative ease and, just keep pressure on them, keeping them on the back foot. So after I swing 5, my opponent takes and I play a Nami. So now it is my opponent's turn 2. We're going to have to wait and see what he does. So it looks like he's going to rest 2. Maybe a sugar here. I don't remember how it plays out. So yeah, so he goes sugar and he rests my Nami. And then he goes 7 at the Nami. But of course, I'm going to protect this Nami here. So we go Spiderweb +4 and we restand the Nami. So my opponent essentially wasted a turn there. Because I'm going to be able to kill the sugar this turn by playing anything. So obviously I'm going to want to use the Nami ability. At least that's what I'm thinking now. I'm not sure what I actually do. Yeah, so I'm going to definitely go Nami here. So we go Nami, swing, 5 at leader. We're going to go search top 5. And we find a Shiki 2K. So yeah, honestly, whenever you search with Nami and you find a 2K, it always feels amazing, even if you don't find like another film card. So he blocked out of it for 1K. And then my turn, I go 4 for Uta. It gets rested, which is totally fine. And then I swing 5 at the sugar. Knowing he's not going to counter out, right? Because you never want to give an event plus a 2K for a sugar, because that just feels horrible. There's very small circumstances where you would ever actually counter out and save a sugar off a 5K swing. But I got rid of it. And now my board is looking amazing because he wants to use his Dawn to, play something on the board because he has nothing. And so he only swings 6 at one of my units and I block out for 2K. And then he goes 5 for Grand Tesoro. But at this point, now I can get search again. I can swing, apply so much pressure. Like, I have so much things to do here, and I think I'm on my 7 Dawn turn, so I can actually play a Luffy here if I have it. And obviously you can see, the difference in board states. My opponent decided to sugar and potentially kill a Nami, knowing that I could potentially have an event to save the Nami instead of him playing like a 4-drop vanilla or playing his own Nami. So that definitely is already starting to hurt him, as you guys can see here. All right, so debating on what I'm going to do on my turn. We go 5 and we definitely go search here. So we're in a search. That means we don't have enough Dawn for a Luffy, which is okay. We can establish other bodies. I ended up whiffing that. You can't, get every hit. And he takes the 5K. Definitely searching for something. Otherwise, he wouldn't have taken it. I think you want to block out of that 5K, honestly. So I go Buena Festa. At this point, I'm searching just for any film card that I can play. I used 1 Dawn for the Nami, 1 on the Buena Festa. So I have 5 Dawn up. And so then I find the Luffy. So I'm like, okay, perfect. I can't 10 cost Doflamingo next turn, but I can Luffy next turn. And so I go 5 at lead. And I have 5 Dawn up still. Puts me in a position where I can Tesoro, I can Diamante. Okay, so he blocks out, and then I swing 6 with the Uta, and he blocks out for 2K. I pay 4 for another Uta, and then I restand 2 Dawn. Doflamingo leader effect, way too good. And that's the reason why I swung with that Uta there, because I had another one to play. And I'm like, perfect. So he's, I'm forcing him with that Uta that I played. Even if I kept the other one standing and I played like a 4-drop vanilla, if I keep the Uta standing, it's forcing him to swing with his Tesoro, or it's going to get rested for free, right? And then as soon as his Tesoro is rested, I'm going to have bodies on my board to just KO it right away. Because that's the one thing you don't want. People get confused. The huge part about the Grand Tesoro is if it gets value and draws you 2, on a turn, it already did its job. So you want to KO it as soon as possible. And obviously, if you don't have removal, you want to put it into spots where you're gonna be able to kill it. And so here he swings leader. I think that was a misplay by him. So I don -1, rest the Tesoro, and then I block out. So 100% misplay on his end, because after that he has no more swings, and so it doesn't matter that my whole board is rested. He cannot swing on me. So I'm in a really, really good spot. I think he should have definitely swung with the Tesoro. Obviously, it's a bait because I want him to rest the Tesoro. But I just got it for free, essentially. And obviously, I'm on the turn 1 curve. So Don -1 means I still go to 10 cost Doffy at the same time as I would if I don't Don -1. So that was basically a free rest for me. And now I have a huge turn here. I think I'm at 8 Don. So I do have a Luffy to play in hand. I'm not sure if I have a target for it, but we can always swing 5 at lead. Nami ability to search for a target for the Luffy. But let's go ahead and find out what I actually do. As you can see here, I'm doing a little bit of thinking, a little thinker tank, which is totally okay. Not every turn is going to be super fast, especially on these later turns. You kind of really have to take a second, because that's how you make misplays, honestly. So just take 20 seconds if you need. Obviously, don't take 2-3 minutes for one action. That can get pretty annoying, but if you need to take your time, definitely that's okay. I usually stream these tournaments, but this one in particular, I didn't want to stream just for the fact that I knew that I needed to get my invite, and so that's why I'm playing extra cautious and doing everything right. So here we attach one, start my first action here, attach one onto leader, and I'm swinging 6 at the Tesoro. And so he gives me a punk, and he rests my Nami, which I knew that was a possibility. I knew that was a possibility, but I have 3 units, so I didn't mind that. I did not mind that at all. I knew I wasn't gonna Nami ability this turn, so I was like, that is perfectly fine. So here we go, 5 life, and he takes. Does he get trigger? He gets trigger, and he rests my Ruta. So obviously he's getting a little bit of luck on his end, which is completely fine. That'll happen. So I do have a target for my Luffy, so I finally go Luffy into Uta. Didn't mind swinging with that Uta there. I was gonna swing with both Utas to be honest, for pressure, because I knew I had the Luffy Uta. And at this point, it's my opponent's next turn, and he honestly is in a rough spot, because obviously his Luffy was playing a chopper. I think you never play a chopper. I think that's a misplay. It's still early on, so your earlier rounds, if you don't get a top player, obviously the matches aren't going to be as high level, and so you can definitely see that this Doffy did make a small misplay there. I think you keep the chopper in hand regardless if you don't have a target for the Luffy. So he goes 6 at lead, and he draws 2, which is fine. I knew he was already on the back foot because he has 1 life, and that was barely the first life I took. So I'm like, you know what, fine, that's fine. He swings 6, me knowing that he doesn't want to swing with his Luffy. I just go ahead and block that for free, and then he ends up passing, keeping his Luffy up. And so at this point, I'm in a pretty good spot. As you can see, I unrested everything, but of course 3 of my units were rested, which is completely fine because I already have 3 swings still. He has 1 blocker. He doesn't have the biggest hand, but I think I have the answer. So we're gonna go ahead and test the waters here and find out what happens. All right, so here I'm counting up some Don, thinking of what I want to do here. Separating Don. A lot of the times what I like to do is try to fake out my opponent with my Don usage. So sometimes I'll be counting set 3 here, set 5 here, set 7 here, set 3 here. My opponent then will see that and be like, oh, he's setting 7 aside. I think he's going to Luffy. A lot of the times I'm just faking you out, or like, I'll keep the stack of 10. I'll count 10, keep the stack as 10. And even if I don't have the 10 cost, I'll like pretend I do. Stuff like that definitely will keep your opponent on edge, thinking on what you're going to do. And then if you do something different, it could definitely just like, change what they're thinking, or just just a little bit of mind game there. So I definitely like to sometimes count my Don like that. So I went 7 life, and he countered out with a Thunder Bagua for 4k. So now he has 3 cards in hand, and he has zero Dawn up. So I knew that if I swung 9, he was gonna have to give me 2 cards here. And so I'm going full aggro here. Because I did the math in my head with the 4 cards I had in my hand. There is a 0 chance that I lose this match. If he goes for just game here, because he needs 4 swings and he does not have enough Dawn. I have too much counter power. So the only option that I left the Grapple Doffy with is try to clear my board and play defense. And so he ends up just playing a 10 cost, which is definitely not the move, but maybe that was his only move. Obviously he was low on cards. And so, yeah, he just played 10 costs as, you know, kind of like a Hail Mary, like, you know, hopefully my opponent misses lethal. And, yeah, at this point, you can kind of just see I have lethal here. He rests 3 of my units. They will not be restanding, but I only need 1 swing to go through. He has no blockers. He does get another Tesoro swing, but I think it's a little too late. He goes 10K at my it was either the Uta or the Nami, but I Union Armada to, you know, keep it alive, and that's, you know, that's kind of it. So he swings 5 at another Uta, and I just go ahead and you know, let it go. I have 2 other units that I can swing with, and I only need 1 attack to go through. He's at 3 cards, I believe, 3 or 4 cards, but at this point, I think I just have too much Dawn, and he has no way to get out of this last swing here. See, and my opponent saw 2 10-cost Doflamingos, and I saw 0. But it's just the way it's simple things like playing the matchup right and knowing what to do is what won me the matchup. So basically, I went first, and I was able to find early bodies and continue the pressure on my board without ever having to sacrifice one of my units, while my opponent had bad Dawn management and wasn't ever able to actually kill one of my units. And so with that being said, I got the dub, and GG's to him. This was round 2 of my online regional. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm definitely going to do a series on every single one of my matches. And if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.